Um, yeah, I'm still here. I had to come back to tie up loose ends. And basically each time I was ready to go back, something else came up, so I had to stay longer. And then after like the third time of me trying to go out, I said something is about to happen. I don't know what it is, but something big is about to happen because it just keeps making me stay here. Next thing I know, like a month later, this happened.
Yeah,
So
it's just
y'all affected, huh?
yeah, it's same to us. It's like you want to travel, but you're not sure. And my sister in the US, and she's with her husband. She want to come back, but she hesitated, and then it's breakout. So
Yeah, exactly. So but it worked out because I got a chance to like be with my niece and stuff like that because I don't really get to see her because you always on the run, you know what I mean? So it was good. I could just reconnect, slow down a little bit, reconnect with my family. So it worked out. It was a plus with it. It wasn't like totally negative. Um, so you haven't even been shooting. So stuff that you sent me, or you've been shooting on the low. That movie
for
that you sent me.
that's just the clip I sent you.
Yes.
That's the latest short film that I made in Philly.
Oh, you made that in Philly.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's called, it's called Daesh Girl, and I made it for my graduate when I to be able to be graduate from the film school in Philadelphia.
yes. Okay,
So I
so
sent you
let's
the behind the scene clips.
okay. So let's introduce you. Say your full name because I won't mess it up. You are a director. You can say your full name and where everybody can find you at. So we'll start off with like some of your links and stuff like that.
Sure. My name is Abdul Al Muteri. I am a filmmaker from Saudi Arabia. I graduated from University of the Arts and majoring film in Philadelphia. I made uh, about 15 short films so far, and I am on social media as everybody almost know that. But I am in Instagram and Twitter as well. I can share the link later on with the audience if you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the funny story is I basically met you at like a networking party and it was cool. And then after that we just started hanging out because you were just out and about meeting people while you were here in school. And then I actually looked because you kept downplaying yourself. And I was like, what you do? He's like, I'm Saudi Arabia, I'm this, I'm that. I just do a little something. I'm like, all right. So then you start sending me clips that you were already interviewed on Al Jazeera. I mean, if you get interviewed on Al Jazeera, that's like being on CNN here. You know what I'm saying? So what made you want to come to Philly to go to school for, movie making when you actually were already doing it anyway where you were at?
Well, I think it started when I realized that the compassion and love for films into me that don't have the capacity to fill it until I really study film from its core, from the beginning, from the zero, ground zero. I
Yeah.
was in the class when I'm 29 with
Yeah.
young guys and girls. They are like 18 and 19, but I don't care. Like I wanna to understand the cinema. I was studying history, by the way, back in Saudi Arabia back in 2005, and I quit and I start making commercial work and working in IKEA as a part time and full time as well, working in some other private companies. But when I start making movies and write about movies in Al Jazeera newspaper, I I become like more addicted and more
Yeah.
uh, like uh, like
You
in a
caught the
prison.
bug. Is that's what you did? Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't have choice by back then, and I was consulting my wife like we go into US to study, and she's like, "Are you turn out all your business? Are you switching off all your network, all your uh, uh, connections for just a move that could harm your business at least?" I said, "Well, if if I'm sure what I'm doing in my next move, I'm sure I will be more successful afterwards." And she was like not sure, but after we settled in the US and I studied, she studied as well, she became more passionate about staying in the United States more than I do. So it's
Oh,
become
really?
yeah. So
So she got
I enjoy
she
studying. Yeah,
so she
yeah.
got Americanized.
Yeah, she's hesitated before because she's not sure about our move to harm our. You know, when you start, even to you, and you imagine you suddenly decide to move to Mexico to study or Canada. It's very calculated move, so you have to make sure it's the right time. You have to make sure when you come back how you rebuild your legacy again. Not legacy. In my perspective, in my case, it's not a correct legacy, but it's more about the years of connections, years of working with thousands of people. That's built a lot of secure path for me back then. But the good news is when I study and understand cinema and gain more work and have a lot of people to interview, including you, if you remember, and many
I know
others.
you interviewed, man.
Yeah,
Huh?
well, that has a lot of impact on me and my resume. And then, fortunate of me, I came here. I was looking for a job. Now I am a film producer in one of the biggest oil and gas company in Saudi Arabia. So I'm making
Oh,
films
really?
for oil and gas. So thank God I at least I found job that's related to my work at least. Yeah.
Oh, and that's great. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that the oil and gas, they're like the biggest company. So if you get in there, you pretty much set, at least, right?
Yeah,
You ain't got
exactly.
to. But you're doing well for yourself. It's the fact that, like you said, you took a chance. You came to America, and then so do you think that getting that position when you got back, is that something that you think that you would have not gotten if you didn't make the move to America?
Uh, yes, I think it's hard to believe that if the case I stay all the years in my status quo, let's say, like let's call it, or like in my position as a freelancer filmmaker, and I as a worker in the private sector, I will be the same as 5 years before I came to United States, if you know what I mean. I will be gradually improving a little bit, but as you know, human harmony in work environment and successful environment, it's like a stock market. Go by, like go up, sometimes go down.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make the right calculated move, in my opinion, and at the right time to study what you really love, I think you will get more than what you have before in the previous passion, because passion have very magical and great combination with education. Like go to foundation and find what holes that you're missing and fill it out with education and some experience. Of course, I worked with many filmmakers and artists like such as you and many others, and that's built up a lot of even my character is different. Not just I find better position. Feel myself after experience 5 years in the United States, 1 year in Ashland in Oregon State, and 4 years in Philadelphia. I find myself as different human being than before.
Okay. And how do you think that you've grown, or outside of the just the technical work that you learned in school, how do you think that you've grown as far as, because the thing about when you were here, you would call me, I was like, hey, you want to get something to eat? I'm like, all right, cool. And he would like take me to all these cool places that I've never seen in Philly. And I was like, how you come away from Saudi Arabia and then the Middle East and then you come here and you know like all these great places. And he was like, I just searched for the top 10 places on Google. I'm like, what? I was like, I never even thought about that. You don't think about that in your hometown. You know what I mean? Because since you're out and about and you're already in a mix, you kind of just organically find these places, but to actually just Google and then like you would take like, this was this cool, what was that place you took me to? It was like downstairs. It looked like it was a dungeon and all these crazy names for the drinks.
Is it like Fishtown somewhere or like Old City?
It was Center City. I do remember because it was right next to Biblos. So that was the hookah spot. And then next door to it, which I never even noticed because it was all painted in black. And then we went and it was like actually a line. Now, see, anybody walking by would just totally ignore. You don't realize somebody's in line to try to get in somewhere. And we went down there. And yeah, that was great. And I had this crazy sliced ice drink, and it takes them like 20 minutes to make it. So it's like the whole presentation is what you're there to look at, which is one of the first true cocktail bars that I've been to. Because I've been to other cocktail bars, but I think because it took them so long and it was so much effort to put into that drink, that was one of the first true cocktail bars. Plus at that time, cocktail bars were becoming, I guess, more popular again, because that was from people who tell me it's like more of an old school thing, like pre-prohibition or afterwards or whatever. So they would make all these drinks with like egg whites and ginger and chop this and ground up that. So it was pretty cool. And I do appreciate the fact that you took me there. There was another restaurant that you took me to, and it had like these little, I don't know, it was fritters or it was something else. And I still don't remember how to get to that place because I've been dying to get them little biscuit things. They were like nice and sweet. It was something, I don't know. And it was like a crunchy cloud. It was so good. And I'm like, and I know that was someplace in West Philly, but I don't even remember the name of the place. But you took me to some really memorable spots that I definitely still try to look for today. So
many places that
actually showed me around where I'm from.
Many places that I went, it has funny background stories behind them. Like for example, the first place we went in downtown, the one in like downstairs, the cocktail place, that has very unique story behind it. My good friend came from Detroit to Philly to visit me, and he was staying like for just a week or something. He's backpacking. He's like just walking around. He's old school traveler. Like he's not like a fantasy guy. But he with me when we walk in the city, like an old city or downtown or West Philly, he already did his let's say research, and he took me literally at these places when I was staying 2 years. So I shamed myself when he did that, and start do my homework as well and start investigate some cool places. And as you know, I love to diverse myself in terms of interacting with a unique places. I love, like, I don't care what's the background, if it's Jamaican, if it's French. I like to try different things, not just sports bar, like have a game and just guys come to you from the class or from the work and just hanging out. Yes, that's cool, that's nice. But I want something different than Milan or Madrid or not like international looking place. I'm trying to expose myself to very unique place that's worth to shot, even in other not necessary bars, but even restaurants and some like art place or something like that. And Philly, full of stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So so obviously that was different than your home. What did you find that was similar, if there were any similarities when you were living here compared to your hometown?
Well, I think the weather first. Here is too hot that it's not easy
Yeah.
to walk around in, let's say, 7 months in a year. And the other thing, the social life in some part of in the States are dramatically different than any place in the world, as you know. In the United States, people are friendly more, people open for conversation more. Not like even in Europe, for example. Here in Saudi Arabia, in terms of like restaurants and going out, yes, we have social life. We can go out. We have concerts. We have cinema now. We don't have bars, but I live in East Coast City, which is near to a small country called Bahrain. It's a small island, and Bahrain has everything you need, bars and all the nightlife shops. Now, I think what I miss in the United States, it's just in the enjoyable walking habit. It's just the idea of you just walk in for a yoga place, or just go to by yourself and do the laundry downstairs of the building. Details like this, I have missed here in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia, you have to have an apartment with everything you need. Like food is going to be delivered for you. Laundry, you have installed a machine where you can do it. And really, I like the struggle sometimes, waiting for the bus and go to the class. You know, it's kind of fun, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and you can get around, and you're just meeting people too. Plus, by you being, not from here, it's pretty intriguing a lot of times for Philadelphia. Depending, and also you were in school too. This is a little different. I know when I go to New York, you're always meeting somebody from another country. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of, and even if it's not another country, it's like so many people from other different places too. You know what I mean? So just within the US. So that's the difference. So Philly, like New Yorkers like to say, but I do agree, Philly is like a small New York. But by it being that these cities were built on top of each other, that's why you can kind of get around without having to have a car. You know what I mean? As everything is so tight knit. And that's just what makes Philly unique versus like when I was out in LA, they have areas like a Philly where it's tight knit, but usually it's still like a lot more businesses, and then the places to eat are still a lot spread out. I haven't seen anything, not saying that they don't have it, but I haven't seen really too many places outside of West Hollywood where you could just, where it's like restaurant shop, restaurant shop, like some like parts of Philly has. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, one thing that I really do love about Philly, it's how proud Philly people about their cities. They just love Philly. They proud of it. They talk about it. If you ask them about the history of this street or this unique icon, they will tell you about it. They will be passionate about it. Also, the uniqueness of the diversity of people, and not just white versus black. It just has everyone you need. In my
Yeah.
college school, we have Russians, we have Europeans, we have my best friend from Poland. We have Africans, really Africans, not African Americans. We have Middle.
You saying I'm not real? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, like
I'm
my
not a
best.
real African. I got you. I know what you're saying.
You're
I'm not
Obama. You're
real.
like Obama, American African. You're not. I mean, what I like from their experience, from their perspective. I
No, I
know, I
got you.
know
I know.
that I am myself as African. Like my origin,
Mhm.
all the Eastern, Middle Eastern origin from Africa. But my point is, perspective-wise, we got people. They just came from South Africa or from Cameroon or from Senegal, and we hear stories during even Ebola, if you remember. We watch the way they talk about their culture, they talk about their art. from Asia, all over the place. We have Japanese, we have Koreans, we have Chinese as well. It's very healthy, interactive environment in the city where it's anything you need. Literally, if I don't have to travel anywhere in the state, I can literally find anything I need in Philly. I can go to a dance place. I can go to music concerts. I can go to places where you can sing, if you remember. I can go to stand-up comedy. It's very, I don't know, very lovely city.
Yeah.
In Four Seasons.
As far as culture there, do you have any like, is it just mostly just Africans and Europeans there, or like, is it a mixture there, or is not really that mixed and diverse culturally where you're from?
Well, I'm privileged to work in a multinational, very big corporation. Uh, as you know, in oil and gas corporation, usually we have all nationalities in work as a workforce, and that's in my work in my city. Uh, you find people from everywhere, people from Europe, Americans, and Asia and Africa. However, in my neighborhood, where it's mostly middle class community, many of them are from Middle East origin, meaning we have
Okay.
Jordanian people, we have people from Egypt, where a lot of non-Saudi, let's say Western people live in compounds, where close to work, where it's people can practices their daily life more freedom, something like that. I would find it very different, to be honest. Even in France, for example, I'm not saying Saudi Arabia or mostly Saudi. Even in
Yeah.
European country, if you go to Germany, mostly Germans. If you go to France,
Well,
mostly,
yes.
except in Paris somewhere, like in two streets in Paris, you have couples from United States or this lovely couple, they're kissing each other. They're going to divorce 2 years, but they didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I'm watching them laughing. But in
Yeah.
Berlin, for example, yes, there is a multicultural visitors. But in general, Germany don't have that diversity as Philly or New York or Las Vegas or Los Angeles. Meaning, United States, if you look at the core of immigrant society, it's foundation based on that. People come from all over the place to build their passionate by their will or not, as you know. People came against their will, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but they came. They contributed to building the United States as is today, and I think that's very unique place to experience living in it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So now the project that you sent to me, um basically the premise is that it's a female that wants to go into ISIS, and she's trying to what, overturn ISIS, or she wants to be a part of, she wants to find out. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
The story is very
Why did you
simple.
choose to do that? I mean, it's kind of obvious because you're from the Middle East, but why did you choose that? Was it, you know?
I was looking back and forth from stories of empowering women. I always want to do that project a long time ago, and I always look at the news that some women get kidnapped from ISIS, from this horrible, terrifying group. So, and also I was read at the ultra newspaper as well, some women joining ISIS. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was asking myself, why I make a story combining these two very different uh, approach of dealing with ISIS, meaning you kidnapped against your will, or you joined them to be part of them. So I was telling myself, let's find a story that's combined the two. So this woman, my hero of my film, wanted to join ISIS to infiltrate ISIS, to make, to pretend that she wanted to join them. She wanted to be part of them. But the real beneath the surface behind that, it's to rescue her friend, because her friend get kidnapped. So I find a fine line. It's very risky fine line, but it's very a narrow fine line to combine the two together. That her best friend get kidnapped, so she willing to risk herself and her reputation to join them and to make a plot to rescue her friend and run away with her from ISIS. So
Okay.
in that way, I can achieve two things I want to make. First, dealing with this horrible group, but not in a conventional, very classical way that they're very
Yeah.
terrible and there is a good person going to fight them like Rambo with a machine gun or something. That's classical, yes, that's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do it that way. I wanna to make it more thoughtful. So I make a woman
Yeah.
actually doing them, and then if you watch the movie, hopefully soon, you will realize she make a very smart plot to marry one of them, actually to poison one of his drink. So let him, once he died, she will run away with her
Hey,
friend.
don't tell
That's
all the story.
it's a short film, so no one will. But yeah, yeah.
So are you
That's
gonna yeah, so
yeah.
are you gonna put it like in, or have you tried to put it out as far as some of the film festivals and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, actually, we participated in about 10 film festivals in the US alone, and about 25 film festivals around the world. And one of the actually film festivals in Philadelphia, it got screened in an ex-Philadelphia Film Festival, and also gets screened in many other states as well. Put it online, it's
Now, if
still
you
an
now when
issue.
you get hmm?
Yeah.
Well, when you get a chance, put it in Holly Shorts, because that's an international. That's located in LA, and I think that'll be a great platform for you.
Yeah, in 2017. So I don't think it's worth to resubmit it again, because we built the campaign throughout 2017 and 18 and 19, and now 2020. It's all the festivals now closing down. They just delaying and
Yeah.
postponing their event. So I think it's too late for all submissions. So we now rethinking to sell it to one of the online screening database, or like some platforms like Apple or Amazon. Maybe we'll see. I have to talk to with my other producers to talk about this, because we have a signed company that only through them we have to consult them in order to make a selling move. So we'll see after that. But I'm developing two other films, so it's kind of like in my drawers now.
Okay. So, are you mostly sticking with short films, or are you looking to get into more feature films? Are you, especially now, I mean, everything is so closed. I don't even know when they're going to open anything back up. So, I mean, supposedly we open, at least out, it was talk. I don't know if it's open. We've been going outside, so I don't know. And I haven't watched press conferences over the last 5 days, so I don't even know what they're going to do. Personally, for me, I'm still probably going to lay low for a little bit. I'm hoping, because I want to get those antibody tests, that I actually got it already. Because
Yeah.
I only know a few people that had already gotten it, but before my best friend, she got it. It was only I would know somebody that knew somebody that got it, or somebody's like elder brother, grandmother, mother, somebody like that passed away. But that was still through like a person of a person. So it's like, well, is it here or not? Or did I have it already and then it didn't happen? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just got everybody sitting in the house like scared to death, like the just die.
Yeah, the numbers scared. Like people, because people stay home a lot, the car accidents reduced dramatically, and catching other flus and other diseases like AIDS reduced dramatically. Death rates in general reduced dramatically. But
Well,
the
I mean,
media,
AIDS is not just AIDS ain't airborne. No, I mean you got to actually do something to somebody to get that. I mean,
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well,
yeah,
also think about it. Global statistic. What are they saying? 3 million. Okay, 3 million versus 8 billion people. That's about. I think if I'm not getting wrong, it's 0.6%, which is
yeah,
very low compared to famine, for example, or people even dying from like fighting or like shooting each other or whatever, like wars. Like yes, this is like hidden. The worst about it, it's like hidden. It's like you just hate it because I don't
yeah,
mind to be in the like front line and war because I can see the missiles and die like with honor. Like
yes,
I can just cry with blood, like sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this like fucking like sorry, but it's just
No, I know.
yeah, like you never know. Like is it bad? Is it long? You never know. Like it depends on from people to people. It depends from how your immune system, whatever. It's just annoying. But
Yeah, and that and the thing is that they were saying, which I totally agree with. I don't think that they understood what it. Plus, I'm a conspiracy theorist too, so we could talk about that all day. But I do think that they were unsure about it, and as far as the rate of supposedly spreading, it was about 4 to 5 times more, transmissible than the flu. So by us just sitting back, yeah. So now the numbers are decreasing, everything's slowed down. So let's see when everything opens back up. But at this point, it may be so many people with antibodies that they might have freaked out for no reason. You know what I mean? But the rate when supposedly when it first happened, it seemed like it was really, a lot. But then they're talking about their fudging numbers and so who knows? So at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna just leave it up to God. If I get it, and I don't live, then that's what it was supposed to be. But I've been drinking my ginger juice, my ginger tea with coriander, cumin, all the herbs, everything, so that I can at least try to work on protecting myself as much as I can. You know what I mean? That's all I can do. You know what I mean? But stopping the whole economy, like this is a hurt piece for me. I had studio sessions. I had some shows that I was working on so that I could do all of that before I had moved back out to Vegas. So it just hurt a lot of people. But it seems like you might be more of an essential worker. So you probably still were going to work during all of this, correct?
yeah, we have to go to work. We have very strict policies in terms of like distancing and washing your hand and working with mask. But in general, to me, even if once I come back to from work to home, there is a home stay order even in my city. But to me, I deal with it as it's just a break. We just sometimes even to us as an artist, we just sometimes we just a break to reassess, we recreate, we rethink, we come back to our emotional deep core value of dealing with real people, dealing with friends, with family, with even absorbing things. I think I starting 3 months now, I can see things, and now we even if we go out, we will enjoy more enjoyable now. Even traveling,
Yeah.
I'm dying to travel now. I wanted to travel anywhere. I don't care. I'm I'm compromised. Even if you send me a ticket to anywhere, like war country, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the good thing is you were spending time with your family, so that was good. You at least got reconnect and everything.
yeah,
Are
yeah.
they there with you, or is she still in America? Because you said she love America more now.
No, no, no. She's with me and with the
Okay.
kid. Yeah, my mother lived far away in another city, but I call her like with technology makes things a lot more easier. And I think it's will gradually we will go back to normal, but it has to be very calculated move. It's reopening gradually, and just make sure life go back to normal, because economy, as you said, is very important. People out of work, so we need to put them back to work again. But we have to make very cautious steps, uh, as you know. And I think human can over things very can solve things dramatically. We shouldn't like underestimate human minds. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and the thing is too, the last time we were having all of these different plagues that they were talking about, I don't think everybody was as clean as we are now. You know what I mean? Even though you still got your little dirty people here and there, but overall, you know,
Yeah.
when you just look back at the reasons why they had the black plague, it was because of the rats and the fleas and different things like that. And it's like we really don't have like a lot of those issues. You know what I'm saying? The same way. I mean, maybe some countries might have those issues, but at least like second to first level first world countries, it's not, you know, if it's based off your immune system or something like that, you probably will be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
80,
It's
80% have probably already have had it already.
yeah. I always be like, it's very like boring time, at least. Now I'm not saying depressing time, but to be honest, I always look at things and compromise, like overall calculating numbers. And when I see like, not talking even about the cause of deaths before, is reduced dramatically, except the COVID-19, because it wasn't exist before. But
Yeah.
even people will rethink again. People will reassess again to everything in life. They will appreciate no gathering. They will rethink about the health policies. They rethink about who going to put in charge of people who are spending money. Because human, to be honest, in the past 10 years, we spend ridiculous amount of money on just bullshit. Sometimes, yani, sorry, yani, it's just unbelievable spending on
Hey,
like
going to get
ridiculous
that
stuff.
crazy drink was not bull.
Who cares about March? Why discover? Why we cannot evacuate Florida when it's flooding happening? Like, take care of your own people in your neighborhood. To take care of homeless. Take care of, fix all that. Fix of Africa. Fix the refugees problem. Then go to explore the spend $6 billion on NASA's new programs. I'm not saying NASA is not important. Yes, they create satellite and Google Map and spying on our phones. Yeah, sure. But come on, be honest. Let's rethink about how we spend money and how we contribute money, because there is a program are necessary, and now our health and research and medical are more important. We realize that now, but we should rethink.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We should support art and music and people, new businesses, and we support go in that direction, not just in like robots. Robots, what the robot going to do? They're going to take your job and my job. In the future, they're going to create robot to sing. In the future, if we go in that direction, and robots going to create another robot. So we didn't need
Yeah.
people create new robot to make money, because robot will create, we replace them. Very simple method. We don't need robot. We need human minds. We need to take care of each other. That's our core value as a human. That's, I don't care about what all religions say, but this is our core value as a human. We need to take care of each other, not saving money. Oh, let's build that thing to explore something. Let's build an island, artificial island somewhere in the ocean to make our drone fly to landing or something. No, spend your money wisely on people who deserve it. Military people, by the way, everywhere in the world deserve an earning after they retire. They have nothing. They earn nothing when they retire. And the money spent
You
on
talking about over?
tank
You talking about? Oh, where you from? You saying where you're from?
everywhere, everywhere. Everyone military retiring, they paycheck is bad. They everywhere, even in the States. I saw homeless military, ex-military guy. And at the same time, focus on this. There's $1 or $2 trillion in unnecessary equipment, unnecessary upgrading. Do you,
Yes.
that's to be honest, that's atomic program. They spend $1 trillion to upgrade it only. My phone, I grade it for free, and I upgraded my phone, and they spend $1 trillion for atomic program, nuclear weapon, by the way. And that $1 trillion should go to the poor, should go to middle class community who lost jobs or something like that. Because I believe that's the core of human civilization, not atomic bombs. Who cares? Like no one going to war with atomic anyway. Yeah, and why anyway? I'm just talking my head. I don't know.
No, yeah, no, I get it. I'm totally agreeing with you because all of this money that they're spending, then they find out like we didn't even really need the ventilators, and they're saying that if you end up on the ventilators and you're pretty much going to die. So now you made all these, and then the thing is, when it first started, why are you going to a car company to make ventilators? This doesn't even make any sense. Why don't you go to the companies that are already making ventilators and tell them to double the production? So from the start, it was just like, what is going on? Like, and then on top of that, we have different laws that the president is supposed to, use so that he can use his presidential power. And he's not using any of the laws that he's supposed to, when any other time he's sitting up here trying to flex his power, but you're not trying to flex it when people are dying. And you're like watching these press conferences and he's talking about he's not talking to the governors of states because they're not nice. Are you serious? We're in the middle of a pandemic and they are freaking out just like everybody else, and they have constituents and people that they have to take care of. Of course, they're not going to be like the best person to talk to. So I was just like looking at this whole thing like, this is just ridiculous. Like, what is the bigger story in all this? And as I see, well, over this last month, basically a lot of these, it's conditioning. It's conditioning us to do what we're doing right now. Instead of me coming to you or trying to figure out, now we would have had to do this anyway because you're across waters. But now I'm talking to somebody down the street through Zoom or my phone or whatever, because I can't talk to them. And you're making them more scared to come outside because of this invisible boogeyman that is probably not going to want to, it is a shame. You know what I mean? Like people that have pre-existing conditions, you know what I mean? No, you don't want them to go, but, or if they're older, but those are things that happen and that is life. So should we just shut down everything? Now, don't get me wrong, because I started looking up the old plagues and stuff. I was like, wow, what if like we really like 3 million, 20 million people just died like in 3 months? I mean, it really would have been crazy. It would have been devastating, and it would overload the hospitals. So I totally get the fact that we set back. So if we did do what we were supposed to do and it actually did work out well, then so be it. But now just start opening or doing something, because people need to make money and they got to get on with their lives. Now, the thing that I don't want is a mandatory vaccination. Then you're going to tell me if I don't have that, I can't travel and I can't do anything? Now, then I started researching vaccines in the pharmaceutical companies, and they were saying basically the pharmaceutical companies aren't making any money because they're doing all these, creating these drugs, and then it goes through the FDC and it's getting vetoed, and now they can't put it out so they can recoup their money, because that's the purpose of them even making this medicine. And they're saying with vaccines, at least for the US, there is basically no liability, and they can put anything that they want into these vaccines. And it has been pretty much proven, you can see it, this people autistic, the metals that they're putting in these vaccines, it's really coming to a head. And now you want to sit up here and try to create this world mandated vaccine. Why? Because they can make so much money. You know what I mean? Off of it. And then they don't, and then it's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, as soon as they make it, I'm gonna sit up in the house. I'm not taking that vaccine right away. You gonna have to have me on the second and third time y'all
Yeah.
didn't make it. That first, y'all, they're not doing any test runs on this. So it lets me, I'm like, did they already plan this? They're saying Ebola, which was record time, they came up with a vaccine in 5 years. If they have a vaccine in under 2 years for this, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is something's wrong. Now, supposedly because COVID basically is SARS 2, which they took the SARS off because they don't want to have it related, but they're saying it's SARS 2. So they're saying that with the other SARS and everything that was going on, that they could take the data from that and then move it over to this. So are you saying that's basically how the flu shot is? Y'all just creating another flu shot, which they're saying half the time doesn't even work and making people sick? I don't know. I've never had a flu shot. I've never really ever been sick. I've been sick a few times, but usually it's because I'm changing environments. Like when I went to LA, I do have allergies, but because there's not a lot of pollen here, I never really had too much trouble with that. But when I went to LA, I think I was out there for like a month and a half, and then I think the pollen season started. I got so sick. It was ridiculous. I never was like that ever before in my life. 3 days I was down. I had to cancel all my appointments. And I don't get like that. Usually I get a little, tired, but I'll get back up. I'll still do what I need to do. But that was the first time in like a really, really long time that I had gotten sick. And so I'm like, maybe what if it was circulating during that? What if I had gotten the H1N1 virus then? You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's not like it just like disappeared. It's still here somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they said 17,000 people died supposedly when that happened. But it was so hush hush, they didn't put it in the media. You know what I mean? So, but it also didn't spread around the world as supposedly as fast as this did. And then with China
Yeah.
not truly about their numbers.
That's the death number is super misleading.
I can't hear you.
Because
Okay.
keep the death numbers, it's so misleading. It's true, but it's incomplete, to be honest. Meaning half of them already have pre-existing conditions, or very because there's too many population got in it. Even if they're healthy, the death rate will be so like crazy. Because think about it, if 100, let's say 1 million people live today don't have COVID-19, 1 million, maybe 500 of them will die like natural. Meaning, what point I want to make is they just saying they died from COVID-19. It's not actually true, but they have it, but it's not causing the death. It's very complex. Too many things I'm worried about politicians handling this. Too many talk, too many interactions, and too many people in power, and that's not healthy because you can't run a strategy with this. German, one of the scientists said of the German said, we cannot just deal with it if politician involved. We must take a lead. The medical force can be in the lead on this. They made the key critical decisions. They make the move. They make closing and opening. They will make the strategy. Why? They have pretty good idea of the calculated situation. Very simple. I am mayor of New York, let's say. I have millions of people around me want their job back. Of course, I'm going to compromise a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's very tricky situation, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to open everything back up. But like I said, I think that this was like conditioning. I think that they did need to devastate they're trying to make a recession, happen.
I think nail salon.
They create these things.
Yeah, nail salon and massage and whatever. These places, no, don't open it. Keep them closed. With all due respect, with all these businesses. Look, Restaurant, yes. Bars, yes. Let people chill a little bit. Let three guys and girls sitting in a bar and just two tables serving at the time. Let people hang out a little bit. To be honest, yeah, give them some beers and everyone may wear a mask and let them talk and just chill. Be thoughtful. But there is very direct businesses where people touch each other. I don't think it's necessary. Why just dye your hair at home? Why?
Well, I get both sides, but the thing is that you gotta get your hair done so that you can look professional when you go to work. Some people really can't do their hair, so I'm very blessed that I can do my own hair, but there are a lot of people that can't do their own hair, so I get it. You know what I mean? And plus, you gotta.
It's like
the hairstylist has to make money too, so you can't really stop that. And the masseuse, if that's their business and that's all they do, if they want to take a chance and get touched by somebody, or they want to take a chance and touch somebody, then I think that that's really their choice. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you can't stop this virus. It's not going to stop. Once we go back out, it's still out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think even if they open, no, not too many people will come to them. I think many people want to go to restaurants because it's just part of their lifestyle, and some bars maybe. But sport events and nail salon, maybe some people won't risk it much, I think.
Well, the sporting events, yes, I don't think that they should do that. But getting your nails, your hair, that for some people is really truly a necessity as a worker, as a person, as a technician, a nail technician or hair or whatever. That's my profession. It's the only way I make money. So if I'm not working, you know what I mean? Now I understand I'm touching people, but that's the line of work I got into.
Yeah. It will be, I think it will be figuring out all this like small businesses, because it's devastating. It's very bad time for them, because even my friend just opened his business and he just lost it. So
and that's a whole nother topic too. All the people that lose their businesses, plus how they supposedly, I think, because I'm blessed at this point where I'm not paying rent or a mortgage. So they were saying that you can't be evicted, but once we open the country back up, you're going to have to pay all that money, almost like in a lump sum. It's like, are you serious? How is somebody supposed to do that? So I was like, what? And if they do this with the house, that means that they can take property away. They make more people homeless. I mean, it's I'm sure it's probably not like that, but some of the I didn't research that myself. But the few people told me, they said that's exactly what it is. You're still being charged your rent. It's just that the police officers are not going to enforce it because they're not going to touch anybody. So and the courts aren't open, so the landlord can file for the eviction.
Yeah,
so you still owe money.
I think the landlord or the owner have the right, I think, to gain but I think the banks don't have any right to kick anyone from their homes. Why? I have a good reason for that. If they go in background, the taxpayers will bail them out. Now we are background. If we cannot pay the rent, they cannot kick it out. They have to wait at least. We're not saying we're not going to pay you, banks.
Yeah.
But hello, as far as I remember, some banks get in trouble. Who bailed them out? Taxpayers. So maybe it's a time to repay our debt. Maybe, I don't know.
Basically, supposedly, so by the time it's done, it's going to be up to almost $8 to $10 trillion deficit. So
there is 18 trillion in before, and I think the whole economy it's freezing right now, which is, I think it's maybe as a not bad thing. Why? The whole global economy. Why? Because no one is winning. So I think that all economists across, that's true. But I think that all the economists across the globe, they will come up with a new like calculated methods to reassess all the deficits from all the country at once. That's getting harmful by this, and they maybe recalculated numbers. They will make something up to fix this, I think, because this is a new phenomena. This is something hasn't happened before. So I think it will be like a Marshall Plan for Europe, where US and other winner countries after World War II rebuild Europe, and they figure it. They print some money, and they will figure it something out, because there is no way to pay their debts. No way. It's ridiculous amount of money. All the country is losing, so there is no way who paying to what. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
everyone losing. So how we, who I'm paying to whom? Yeah. So
Yeah.
because
Now,
in the
do you
US
think?
they print in money, and the Germany they are taken from the stock they have, and they're going to be minus soon. And it's like me, I'm broke, you're broke, and we living in the same house. So we'll compromise to come up with a new plan, a new maybe agreements to exchange favors, something like that.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
got you. So do you think that the coronavirus was man-made?
it's hard to answer, to be honest, but I can see it in a degree. It's a new, like, unbelievable phenomenon that raise a big question. That's my assessment, to be
Okay.
honest. I think there is a big probability that it could be a man-made that got out of hand or deliberately implanted to the animal market in China by Chinese or by others. So it could be a very dirty game. That's, to my perspective, it can be happening, and I lean into that approach a little bit. However, it's under investigation. I think right now, once they publish everything, we can like read the comparison and analysis and stuff like that. So we come up with our own conclusion.
Yeah. So, well, back to you. What so what's your next project you working on before we start talking all day about what the world economy is doing?
I'm doing some scripts at the moment, like in the past 12 months. I do a feature screenplay, and I do a short film as well as a script, and still in developing the screenplay. And soon I will developing a new model to approach this scripts to production house. So hopefully, who knows? Hopefully, I will shoot it in the United States next year. We'll see.
Okay. So you said that you're working on putting together a production house.
At
That's
some
what you said.
degree, it's just a collective interactive website that's allowing all the creative people across the kingdom and across the globe to participate, to engage in an ideas, and whoever interested in acting, for example, or directing or developing production, they can join in by signing in very easy process. And we give them whoever interested, for example, if someone interested in acting in New York, we connected to conduct into that talent, something like that.
So you speaking about this website that you have, which is effectsforyou.com. Is that what you're speaking about?
Yeah, yeah, this is the one. Yeah,
Okay.
we lean in digital now. We're not focusing in production house as physical, because I think that's future with human. It's lean into. It's just interacting through the websites, and we allowing people to just simply contacting each other and see each other through that websites, and build up a good healthy environment to artists. So we'll see what we go after this. But this Corona, it's just changing our plans. We'll see.
Well, I everything starts, you know, you never know where it's gonna lead. You just keep it, you know, going. I didn't really get a chance to go to the site myself, so but but I'm checking it out, and basically because I it's just for casting, but now you describe it, I'm realizing that it's more than just that. So I, I thought it was just, you know, put the picture up and probably put some videos so that you could. And you got a lot of stuff in Arabic, so I don't even think I'll be able to join.
Well, the main core is casting, but there is a voiceover section, there is a screenplay section, and there is a directing section. Meaning we allowing other artists to interact to our main core, which is talents. Because as you know, if you act, a likelihood to be a good voiceover artist or good singer or something like that. So we kind of like make our big bet to the casting community, and we let others, commuting around them.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, you can definitely check it out. The only thing that is in English on here, just to let everybody know, is up on the top bar is home and casting. After that, if you don't know Arabic, you ain't gonna be able to make it through.
Yeah, it's easy to navigate. It's nothing like complicated. It's just clicks. When you click, you will see some movies, some links. It's just a fun. We will build a form and also a chat platform in it. But we waiting for our IT guys to back on to work, and we'll see. We'll take it from there.
Yeah, it's so cool. You see everybody with the hat, the scarves. What do you call those? The hats, the scarf the guys wear. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, it's like you looking on here. It's like wow. It's like you know all these different looks and stuff like that. And then like you might see somebody and it's like wow, do they speak Arabic or are they just on here? You know what I mean? They don't even look like they would speak it. So
Most of them speak, and the most of the producers are actually filmmakers. So they just want they have like Arabic scripts or English or French. It depends on situational. We just launched it like maybe 13 months ago or something, but
okay.
uh, I'm just holding everything now and just focusing on just in my job, and just just staying connected, and you know just having fun. Nowadays I'm just enjoying myself. And
No, well, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. You
yeah,
know, I'm happy that, you know, I met you and then, you know, you over there, you know, doing your thing. Um, and obviously you got the benefit of going to school to learn what you love to do. And then you actually went back because you know how artist life is. I'm sure you got a taste of that, where a lot of times you love, but then you have to do other things so that you can make money. You know what I mean? So it was kind of good that you went through school and then came back and then you found like kind of a corporate filmmaking job working for the oil company, but it still is within the vein of your skill set, which is awesome. You know what I mean? And then you still can make all of your movies and do whatever else you love to do while you're doing that as well. So
exactly. Yeah, I'm just seeing my timeline before, and seeking for the best, because I have in a very bad shape before I even come to United States or married. I was in a very troubled places before. So in that
oh, what
perspective,
kind of travel places were you in?
no, I mean in living condition. I was like in bad living condition, and like
Okay.
So in that optimism perspective, I'm see the bright until end of the tunnel. Hopefully soon. And even without, even if it stay longer, I think it's very good lesson for human to be humble, and we
Yes.
appreciate now life and art and walking around, do yoga in the park, swimming around. Who cares? After this, I will do all the crazy shit that I'm hesitated to do.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so how the kids and everything, were they getting on your nerves since y'all was in the house all day long?
Yeah, just try some cooking and just learning some stuff. Reading, do some readings, watch Netflix with terrible speed limits, so which is annoying. But consuming time with the. I'm not saying it's very beneficial or like do productive time, or I'm not trying to be like very perfect guy, or sometimes I'm just watching YouTube and just enjoying myself and just hanging with the kids and
No, I got you. So, by it being that you said your wife did fall in love with America, were you guys like think I don't even know if you wouldn't want to come back now. They're gonna like shoot you up with a whole bunch of vaccines. But before this happened, were you guys planning on making maybe America like a permanent move, or was it always you knew that you were gonna go back home?
well, it's to be honest, it's not an optional to us because when we came in a scholarship program that's under terms of conditions that once you're done in terms of not paying your tuitions back, you have to come back and honoring your country with some jobs that you benefited from United States. And even without that condition, I would go back to my country for many reasons. My business is here. My connections for film business are here. And I always willing to come back to United States for a visit, which is fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whoever, either I come out there first, or you come out here, whatever, definitely
So,
stay.
of course,
Yes.
first to visit, promise.
Huh? What'd
First
you
to
say?
visit. If
Yes.
I can't see you. We
One of
coming
you.
out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was fantastic speaking to you. You can catch Abdul. I don't like saying his last name because I don't want to mess it up. But you can catch him on what's your social media sites? Which one do you use the most? Is it Instagram, Facebook?
And Instagram is better. Always better
Okay.
because it's just clean and connected. And it's not too messy.
So
Facebook is like ex-girlfriend.
what's your Instagram link?
And Instagram, I will send it to you right now because
Okay.
it's
Well, I'll put it when I repost it. I'll put it in.
yeah,
But
yeah,
definitely go and check out, yes, definitely go and check out Effects for You. And that you is youu.com. And you'll see this is definitely geared to you if you speak Arabic, but definitely go check it out either way. Maybe you can just post your picture. He speaks English, so if you send him a message, he'll be able to respond to you or somebody on the team.
yeah.
But yeah, go check it out if you had any desires to probably go to the Middle East or something like that. I think that would be one of the premier sites to go and post some of your pictures so that some of the people can see new talent. So
Yeah.
that's it. And you have a fantastic day. Anything else you want to leave us with?
That's it. And thank you so much for this great honoring to be with you. And hopefully we'll be with you soon in the future for real life. And
Yeah.
stay strong, stay safe, and enjoy, and be as bright as we know you before.
Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure once again to reconnect with you. So this is kind of like our phone call plus an interview at the same time. So
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, cool.
Well, I'll talk to you later, all right?
All right, bye. Cheers.
All right, bye-bye.
Later, all right. All right, peace. All right, bye-bye. Bye.